Welcome to Professional Development Webinar for English Teachers in Kazakhstan 15. So today we have a small anniversary. A little bit more than 1 year ago, I started professional development webinars for English teachers. At that time, I was at the University of Oregon as a Fulbright visiting scholar. And today is the 15th webinar. So I conducted the first webinar 1 year ago. And today I'm the speaker again. So before we start, I would like to speak about the rules that we follow during the webinars. So most of you are at home now, and I understand that maybe some background noise. So I would like you to mute your audios, and if you would like to ask a question using your audio, you can unmute yourself anytime. So if there is some noise interfering, I will have to mute you, but if you want to ask a question, let me know if you would like to use the audio. Okay, so let me share my PowerPoint. And today I would like to introduce my colleague and my partner for this webinar today, Linda Wesley. Some of you, I think, attended Linda's webinar. We did one in September or August, Linda. Sorry.
I'm not sure either.
Okay. So anyway.
In the fall.
Yeah. So Linda is a member of the faculty at the University of Oregon of American English Institute, and she develops and delivers teacher training courses for English language educators around the world. And that is why I invited Linda for today's webinar again, because she is very passionate about training courses for teachers, and especially for English language teachers. So, and these courses include both online and on-site components in such countries as Saudi Arabia, El Salvador, South Korea, Dominican Republic. Linda specializes in teaching English to lower level learners, and she works extensively with adapting materials to different CEFR reading levels. I think you attended the webinar on reading with Linda. If not, you are welcome to watch it on YouTube. And making curriculum materials more accessible to students with disabilities. Also, Linda holds an advanced degree in teaching English as a second language from Western Kentucky University, and she has worked in K-12 junior college and university environment and spent 17 years in foreign language education in ESL in the US public school system. So welcome, Linda, and thank you so much for joining me today and helping me with this 15 webinar. I love the number 15 because there is some 5 there. So, and we have a lot of new participants today, I think. So I introduced Linda, and Linda will introduce me.
Thank you so much, Yelena. Yes, for those of you who don't know Yelena, she has her PhD in education in 2001 and her CELTA in 2015. We got the opportunity to meet very shortly, but it was a really important meeting when she was a Fulbright visiting scholar at the University of Oregon American English Institute. That's in Eugene, Oregon, and I work with them. But I actually live in Tennessee, which is across the United States, so I'm able to work remotely. She also has her Teaching Online certificate in higher education from Quality Matters in 2018. She's the director of the, I will apologize for pronunciation, Yesenov. Is that close enough?
Correct.
Right. The director of Yesenov Language Center at the present. And she has over 20 years experience in training English teachers and translators in Kazakhstan. She designs and runs online English language training courses for kids, teens, and adults, and specializes in IELTS and TOEFL preparation. So thank you again for inviting me today, Yelena.
You're welcome, Linda. So, and I forgot about the keywords. So
That's
let
right.
me tell you, why do we need keywords? So thank you to Tatiana Lityakina, who is the president of KAST, Kazakhstan Teachers of English Association, and all the participants who are participating today in person will get a certificate for this webinar attendance. And Tatiana will give you these certificates in case you put down the keywords that we'll be using today, because during the recording that you are able to watch on YouTube, you will not find any keywords. So we decided to give certificates only to those who were participating in person, because we would like to get some interaction, and it means that you are investing your time in your professional development. So Linda, do you remember what is the first keyword?
I do.
Okay.
The first keyword is becoming.
Okay, thank you.
Becoming.
So, and some of our participants, I think they got used that the speaker is delivering some presentation, telling about some resources or some new methods in English language teaching. But today, instead of lecturing and giving some presentation, we will start with asking questions. So, and the first question is, which are you? 1, a university teacher, 2, a school teacher, 3, language course instructor, or language school owner. So please write in the chat, what is your role at present?
Looks like we have a lot of school teachers today.
Yeah. So I will have to mute some of you, but if you would like to ask a question at any stage, yeah, Miroer writes, I think almost all. And Tatiana is a school teacher and language school owner. Yeah, I think this is a very, sometimes it happens that language school owner teaches in his or her school at the same time. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I think a lot of us have, as English teachers, have put together several of these positions at the same time.
yeah. Okay.
Ah,
So,
we have a freelancer.
this is good. So, is it a good question to ask, who are your students? Kids, adults? Okay. So, and the next question is, Linda, would you like to go?
Okay, yes, the next question, question number 2. How many years of experience do you have as an English teacher?
Wow, 20.
Oh, I think I'm the oldest person here.
Linda, how many years experience do you have?
This is 30. I'm starting my 31st year.
Wow.
Yes. I was just a child when I started teaching.
Okay. We have
I
some
wish.
children too. One of the participants answered 3 months. Okay. By the way, you can change your names here. So because if you're not sure how to do that, just go to those 3 dots and you can change your name, because your names are shown as the name of your devices, but it's okay. We have a comment, but I think it's good to have enough practice. I think there is never enough practice. Okay, so thank you so much. We have so many experienced and young teachers. This is good. So what is your motivation to be an English teacher? And you're welcome to unmute yourself and speak about your motivation. So please write in the chat if you would like to speak, because I muted some of you, and then I'm not sure if you can unmute yourself. Linda, we have a great interactivity today. Some people, some
Do.
teachers are using cameras. Do
That's
you remember?
wonderful.
So we're making progress. Every time I complete the feedback form, I write, oh, I would like more interactivity of the participants. So who would like to share about your motivation to become an English teacher or to be an English teacher?
We'd love to hear your voices and see your face.
So, Miroert, I love children and love English language.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. English opens me the world.
Absolutely.
Tatiana, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
I like that. I belong to English.
It motivates me every day. Get pleasure to see the feedback. Working with children gives so much pleasure. So I will share my motivation. When I was 10, excuse me, I'm trying to find who is making that noise to switch off. Okay, so when I was 10, I already made up my mind to become an English teacher, but I was so motivated that all my my father tried to persuade me to become a design engineer, but I was very motivated, so I didn't listen to him and applied to foreign language department. Children are so eager to learn English. English is very popular in our country. Yes, we are moving to trilingualism.
That's amazing.
So,
yeah, I started out actually as a newspaper photographer and then became a Spanish teacher. And I knew that I absolutely loved being a language teacher, but I didn't really feel confident enough about my Spanish. And so I decided in the mid-90s to go back and get my degree in teaching English as a second language so that I could take what I knew about language teaching and apply it to a language that I felt a lot more confident about. And so that's been since about 1996 now.
okay, so and what is in more demand? What kind of specialists? Spanish teachers or English teachers? What do you think?
You know, it depends on the part of the country. In most of the United States, most high schools have a requirement for 2 years of a foreign language. They don't care which one it is. In most schools, it's Spanish, French, or German. And so there are there's a big demand trying to find Spanish teachers to fill these, but also in different parts of the United States where we have more immigrants and different populations moving in, there's a huge demand for ESL teachers as well. So.
Okay, so I think we mostly have ladies, so dear ladies, you are welcome to ask me or Linda any questions because we have a lot of questions for you today.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Is this my turn?
I'm not sure. Sorry.
Okay. So this question is, what is your background in teaching English? What is your background in teaching English? For example, I'll answer for Spanish. I was a student who started taking Spanish in high school and just absolutely loved it. So I added it to my college degree because I just loved the language, and then ultimately that brought me into teaching. So what is your background in teaching English? Did you study it in college? Did you start in high school?
So I started learning for becoming an English teacher when I applied for Foreign Languages Department at East Kazakhstan State University in 1993, and I got 5-year degree. At that time, we had to study for 5 years, but I was lucky to get 2 degrees. So I'm a teacher of English and Chinese, which I don't speak.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, technical translator. So yeah, so Miroer was studying at the university. What about others? But I think most of the teachers in our country should have a university degree, at least a bachelor degree, to become a
Okay.
teacher.
Oh, Dina, I started with an awesome teacher too. My first, like I said, my first Spanish teacher was absolutely awesome, and he truly inspired me to love language.
Okay, so Tatiana has very diverse experience starting from school and moved to university.
Hmm?
So Umid schooled in West Kazakhstan State University. So Miroer that didn't study at school. What do you mean you didn't study at school? You applied to the university at once? This is cool. Zhebek, hello. I studied German. Who motivated me was my mom.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So, okay. So, and dear participants, I would like to remind you that you can unmute yourself anytime. So we have starting college, then university and CELTA. Natalia, which city are you from? I'm grateful to my EFL teacher at the university. I have bachelor and master degree in foreign philology. Cool. So the next question is, how many hours do you teach a week?
Oof.
30. Oh my God. Natalia is from Ekibastuz.
Ah, 33. Dina has her beat.
24. 28.
34.
Hello, from Tashkent.
Hi.
Hello. I do not teach anymore. I'm a retired MBA professor, and I have an extra training in Chisol. If you are interested in professional development, call it job oriented. I will post in chat the link. Maybe I can find some moderators among you. It is not so easy to find moderators in Uzbekistan. Okay?
Okay.
I will post here, yes.
Helen, 34.
34. So Linda, what is average workload for a teacher in US?
That's a really hard question to answer. When I was a public school teacher, it was about 35 to 40 hours per week, because you usually had 5 one-hour classes per day plus maybe a 1-hour planning period each day. At the university level, wow, I've gone anywhere from 12 to 24 hours as a university level instructor. So, but then like a lot of us, oh, Tatiana is asking, do I work with children with disabilities? I actually don't work with children with disabilities right now. I work for the American English Institute, and we're trying to do more to get our materials, like our Microsoft Word documents, more accessible for people with disabilities. So for example, I work with trying to make the documents better, more easily read by a screen reader. And so that's my first steps into it. And then also working with universal design, those things that we can do in all classrooms to not only accommodate those with disabilities, but also be able to help all students with universal design. If that's something that we find out that we have some interest in, I'd be happy to talk more about that at a later date.
Yeah, so by the way, I'm reminding you about the feedback form that you complete after we finish the webinar, and we will send you a follow-up email. Sorry for the delay with the previous email. And you can ask any questions to the speaker and to the team. So our webinars are becoming more and more popular. So we have some participants from Uzbekistan. Welcome. So not only Kazakhstan. Okay.
Wonderful.
So, and the next question is,
do you teach private lessons in person or online? Yelena's told me that most people in Kazakhstan, at least, probably teach some private lessons. So we're curious about the in-person or online, or maybe you do both. And about how many hours a week do you do that? Both, in person.
Okay, so we have one answer, both. Oh,
Uh-huh.
admin, I'm not sure of the name because, so if you are teaching it online, what platform or what software do you use? So we have two. Two online.
I'll answer that about the software or platform. When I do online lessons, I either use Zoom, which is the platform we're using right now, or I use Skype. A few times when we've had trouble, we've changed to FaceTime or the Line app, which is similar to WhatsApp. But most of the time for me, it's Skype or Zoom. I see Natalia uses Skype as well.
Okay.
As the venue of my piece of training is good Google Community. I will post the link to that.
Okay.
But locally, it is good to use Telegram. We have an extra Telegram group called Job-Oriented ESP trainings and training on STEM, ESP, and academic. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, 18 to 20 hours a week of private lessons. Wow.
So I have experience even by phone one Skype.
Wow.
Yeah. Since I found Zoom, I don't use Skype because I think Skype, when there is some breakdown in connection, Zoom never switches off completely, but Skype does.
Yes,
So,
you're right.
sorry, not to know your name, ID05. So 18-20 hours a week and plus school teaching. Do you ever sleep? Yeah, so Linda, our teachers, actually, I think everywhere teachers are very hardworking.
Absolutely.
And they devote a lot of part of their life to teaching. Okay, and the next question is, how do you get your students? I'm very curious to find this out because when I started, I was a student and I was posting some ads in the local newspaper. But then I just stopped doing that because it was a word of mouth advertisement.
That's exactly what's working for me right now is word of mouth. I have several clients in Japan, and it's all come from one person. Because this person told somebody, and then they told their cousin, and then they told their next door neighbor. And so word of mouth, yeah, Natalia too, word of mouth is what's worked best for me so far. But I really want to learn more about marketability.
Yeah. Once I think I've taught 3 sisters, and now
oh my goodness,
their daughters. So I think all out of one family, I've taught about 7 people.
Oh my goodness. Wow, we have 32.
Yeah, we have 33 participants now.
That's fabulous.
They find themselves, advise each other, I think.
Yeah.
Word of mouth is really nice, but now I'm trying to
employ social networks like Instagram.
I'm teaching my parents and parents-in-law.
Oh, nice.
OLX, Alima, good for you. I've never thought of OLX as advertising.
What is OLX?
So OLX is like, this is some app, and it's very popular in Kazakhstan. I usually send some unnecessary stuff on OLX.
Okay.
If I don't need some furniture or some clothes, I saw some.
That sounds like in the U.S. we have something called Craigslist.
Hello, but educational product differs very multiply because we know that diversification is now a buzzword. Somebody teach general English, somebody teach business English, and I'm specializing in ASP, English for specific purposes, and mostly on business English. And I have 5 or 4 certificates from TESOL as a trainer, as teacher, trainer, and even coach of business English. It will be very interesting to find colleagues in Kazakhstan.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, but I don't see your name. There is some email, Halm.
Ah,
What's your
my
name?
name, my name is Halima. That is it, Halima.
Okay,
Okay? That
nice
is
to
my
meet you, Halima.
Gmail. Gmail,
And
yes.
when you receive a follow-up email, please contact me and we can advise you.
Yes.
Sorry, we can invite you as the speaker about one of our webinars.
Yes. If you post in chat your email address, of course, it will be a good communication.
Okay, but when you received an email from us, it means that we know your email, so we will make sure to send you a follow-up message. All the participants who joined us today will receive an email from us.
My email is so easy to memorize. Halima is my name, MBA. I'm an MBA professor or in business administration, gmail.com.
Okay, great.
So, and the next question is,
What is the price range you offer for your private lessons? Less than 1,500, 1,500 to 3,000, or over 3,000?
yeah, so, and we are asking you this question because we actually want to show you how, yes, it is in tenge, of course, because most of our teachers are from Kazakhstan. So we would like to show you some strategies how to make more. So 2, 3, 3, depends on the type of the lesson.
Right.
So, oh my God. Yeah, so Miroert, it's high time to increase the price.
Even hard currencies is so vulnerable today. And about your tenge, we have 3 options. Maybe to give in a 6 hard currency basket like euro, dollars, because online education allows to get us a global audience.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so, and we have some more questions. So do you know some ways you can increase your hourly price?
I like that. Somebody's going to raise their prices tomorrow.
Better to speak about budget training. We have some budget training like 3 times a week, if I know, 2 hours in our educational center, 3 times, multiply 4. It will be in duration of 3 months and 6 months. Maybe to get some course, yes, totally a course, and price for the course, because we have social deprived people who cannot pay. And therefore, we advise them, yes.
Okay, thank you. So, and would you, so we didn't see any answers who would like to increase, and do you know any ways you can explain that giving feedback to written assignments? Yeah. So, okay. So we haven't received any answers if you know how to increase the price. So would you like to know more ways how to increase the price and how to be more in demand and more marketable?
Yeah.
Yes. I like this answer. Sure. Yes. So Linda, what about the second keyword?
The second keyword is more. So we had becoming, more.
Okay. So yeah, and we are speaking about making more money with teaching English. So Olga, no, yes, of course.
Of course we do. That's a silly question.
Yeah. So I promise we will not ask any more silly questions.
No, no.
So, and if yes, how many hours a week are you ready to spend learning more? So are you ready to learn? I hope this is not a silly question because, yeah, but please write how many hours.
How many hours? Every
Yeah.
day. I like that.
So every day, sure. Please write how many hours a week. Is it a week? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
3 hours a week. 5. Are we taking ABT, giving private lessons for children?
Dina, in this question, we're talking about how many hours would you like to spend learning more about how to get more students, how to raise your price? It looks like on average, people are kind of in that 3 to 5, maybe about an hour a day through the week or on the weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, this is what we have planned.
We predicted very well.
Yeah. Okay. So, and what we have to offer you is professional development course for English teachers. Linda, would you like to speak a little bit about that? And then
Yeah, absolutely. What we're looking at is a series of 4-week modules where we would, the purpose of these modules would be to help you develop as an English teacher, to help you increase your number of students, increase your hourly wage, basically how to make yourself more marketable. So some of the topics that we have already decided on are things like going to the next level with your teaching, using technology and teaching online. Some of you said you just do in person. I remember one person said they'd like to take their students online, but there's still a demand for in person. Creating presence in your courses, and that can be in the regular classroom or online or in one-on-one tutoring. How do you appear more present to your students? Teaching with effective ESL and EFL methods. One of my favorite topics to talk about is giving instructions to students. I saw a great talk several years ago where the speaker said, how many of you get frustrated when your students don't do what you asked them or what you told them to do? And of course, we all raised our hands. And she said, what if I told you that's usually your fault? Which at first was hard to hear. But I learned some great strategies from her that I would love to share with you guys about how to give effective instructions. Teaching English without the use of L1. I know that when I was a Spanish teacher, I used English way too much to teach Spanish, so we'd like to work on some of those techniques. Yelena is a great person to help you with developing the financial literacy of, that marketing and the money. Keeping deadlines and time management, something I think we all struggle with such hectic schedules. Improving your own language proficiency. I know that as a Spanish teacher, you would think that my Spanish improved over the years as a Spanish teacher, but I think it actually got a little bit worse because I was teaching such basic level language every day. Motivating your students. That's probably my very favorite topic to talk about. Adapting materials to different levels. That was one of the things Yelena mentioned in my introduction, is I work a lot with taking materials that maybe are at a C1 level on the CEFR and adapting them to a B1 or an A2 level. But most importantly here, these are a lot of our ideas, but to develop these, we also want to hear your suggestions because we would like to develop these courses to meet the needs that you have.
Okay, so you are welcome to write your suggestions if you have any now. Also, you are welcome to write them in the feedback form, but I would also like to comment on these topics that we have chosen for this 5-module course. So I would mention not all of them, but I would like to comment on some of them. So speaking about teaching online, I think it is becoming more and more popular. And as I have done a quality matter certificate recently, I would love to share all this knowledge with you, how to make this online teaching good quality. Because a lot of companies offer teaching online, but sometimes it's really cheap. That's why people sign up for that. But it doesn't mean the quality, because sometimes you get a new teacher every time. I think, Linda, you've mentioned that. Was it in China or Japan?
Japan, yeah.
Okay. So as for creating presence in your courses, this is also the topic that I would like to share. For example, how to create presence in an asynchronous course. At TESOL in Chicago, I've been to some workshop where one professor was speaking about teaching speaking in an asynchronous course.
Wow.
Can you imagine? They never meet with their students online, but he manages to create presence, and he's teaching speaking from the beginner level. Yeah, and I would like to share that too. So as for giving instructions, yeah, I agree with you. And teaching English without the use of L1. Now we have some students from Turkmenia, and they don't speak any language, English, Russian, or Kazakh. So we have to find some way to teach them. Yeah, so, and I will be happy to share some tips and strategies on developing financial literacy, how to market your online courses, how to find students, how to advertise, and also becoming organized. And I've noticed some freelancers here, so I'm sure you will be interested in this information too. And I agree with Linda that our teachers, unfortunately, also graduating from the university and then starting work in school, and they lose their level of English. And I think every teacher should find some ways how to improve his own language proficiency and bring it to the next level. Yeah, and I love motivation. Because, you know, nowadays, so when I was starting to learn English 30 years ago, the only tools I had was a textbook, a dictionary, and some teacher. Nowadays, there are so many tools, even artificial intelligence, to help people learn English. But do you know why they still go to the teacher or sign up for an English language course? And what they're paying for? They're not paying for knowledge or even skills you give them. They pay for motivation.
Yes.
Because they know that if they try to study autonomously, not all students are intrinsically motivated to do that. That's why they sign up for courses, they go to a tutor, and they pay for motivation. So, and what will this module, 5 modules, consist of?
So each week there will be weekly readings. We will be putting this in a Google Classroom platform, and we will offer weekly readings that can lead to WhatsApp discussions. I know Yelena and I have both experienced how wonderful it can be to communicate with colleagues in a WhatsApp or a learning management system platform and get so many ideas and so many different perspectives on the readings. So these readings would have a little bit of theory, but also be focused on the very practical side of teaching. We also want to offer a lot of tools to try. Yelena and I get very excited about new online and other tools that we find that can help language teachers. And those tools can be for actual language instruction, but they can also be, for example, platforms to teach on, ways to keep track of your finances from your teaching business, things like that. We also want to give the opportunity to, we'll have assignments that if you choose to, we can offer feedback if you choose to do the assignments in the week that they're posted. And every week we'll have a live Zoom session just like this one where we can expand on a topic and maybe take some of the questions that you have.
Okay, I would like to add a little bit. So I found that WhatsApp discussions are very effective with my online courses that I run for kids and for adults. And they feel so motivated when I open the chat and I see a lot of interaction between the participants. And so I think everyone is on WhatsApp now. And what I noticed when I was delivering some in-person and on-site teacher training workshops, teachers love to discuss some teaching topics, some tools they use, some handouts, materials, and everything. But sometimes, even at university or at school, we don't have any opportunity to do that because we are all teaching and we have to stick to the schedule. So, but I think that this supporting community that we would like to create will help teachers to find the answers to their questions, to practice their English, to get the feedback. Yeah, and I think also the culture of feedback in Kazakhstan is changing, and it is becoming more constructive and more professional developing. So, and yeah, I would like to share a lot of tools I try. And I think live sessions in Zoom like we are having now and all other webinars we had, I think they're also motivating, inspiring, and creating some presence and inspiration. So, and we are offering the following schedule of the modules. So the first module, I know that no one works in December except teachers, but still we would like to start in the new year. So new year starting something new. So, and we are offering the following schedule. So one module is 4 weeks, and we are offering 5 modules now, and we would like to extend that if you will have more suggestions of what you would like to know. So, okay, so.
Dina wants to know, is it free?
Yeah, so this course is not free, but the price will be very affordable. We know that English teachers don't earn millions. And to sign up for this course, you should go to this link and let me copy it in the chat. Oops, sorry. I will give back the presentation when I copy the link now. So if you sign up for this course, sign up with your name and email, and when you sign up, you will get a freebie from us. Linda, would you like to say what kind of freebie we're giving?
Yeah,
the
freebie, and every time I say freebie, I always think about, we have an expression, we say, if it's free, it's for me. So I always like free stuff. This freebie is a compilation, a collection of some of Yelena's and my very favorite websites. And again, some of those are for actually teaching English or for other kinds of tools. And so we will share that with you just for signing up. When you sign up, you are not committing to paying anything. You're not committing to paying for the course yet. We just want to know who is interested in receiving more information. And like we said, we want to get that feedback from you about what additional topics you're interested in before we put the final schedule out there with the items for each of the individual modules. And so if we can get your feedback very soon, we will get that together just as quick as we can and try to customize it for you.
Yeah, and we are starting on January the 7th. Actually, I think the first working day is January the 4th, but we still celebrate Orthodox Christmas on January 7th, and Christmas is a birth of something new, so I think it's a good time to start. So I think we have finished our presentation. So if you have some questions, you are welcome to unmute yourself or write in the chat. If I muted you, please write and I will unmute you. Because if I mute everyone now, I think it will be too noisy. So any questions? And you have the link in the chat so you can copy it. And I will also make sure to...
And if you have friends or colleagues that are interested, please feel free to share the link with them as well.
Tatiana, thanks. It should be quite different for us. How many keywords do we have today? Linda, we have to say the third keyword.
And the third keyword is marketable. So our three keywords together, becoming more marketable.
Yes, Halima, we will convert this webinar to YouTube, and you can share the link with your colleagues, and I will send you a follow-up email, and we will send you more information about the course that will start on January 7th with more information. Yes, Tatiana, good slogan. I love that too. This is Linda's idea. And actually, we love you to be more marketable and open some new job opportunities for you. Because several years ago, I was thinking, oh, how can I work online? Because I would love to travel more. And now it is completely possible, absolutely possible.
Yeah, I have done, oh, that's interesting. YouTube doesn't work in Uzbekistan. Okay.
So, Halima, I can upload this to Google Drive and share the link with you so you can share the webinar with your colleagues.
Yeah, just to continue with what you just said, fortunately, I have been able to take my online teaching, my one-on-one tutoring. I've taken it to Saudi Arabia with me, Dominican Republic, Korea, wherever I have internet, I'm able to keep that business going, which is absolutely wonderful. You have to balance all the different time zones, but you can definitely make it work.
Yeah, and speaking about online teaching, at some stage I was so tired of one-to-one teaching. One-on-one or one-to-one?
One-on-one.
One-on-one teaching. So now I don't teach one-on-one sessions. I teach only groups, and quality matters helped me a lot. Because when my coach was telling me, oh, you should make something online, and I said, I don't want to do one-on-one. And I didn't know how to do that. And it was quality matters that gave me the idea how I can make an online course even more effective for both kids and adults and teens and everyone, and run them in small groups. And I would love to share that with you too, because I feel sorry for the teachers who work 60 hours and more a week for very little pay. So I will be happy to share these strategies with you, and I hope you can develop it yourself too.
We're worth more than that.
Yeah.
So, and like you said, Quality Matters is a great example of a tool that we'll share with you. We've both had experience with it, Yelena more than I do, but it would be open for other people to sign up for. So we're really excited, I think, just to share so much of what we've gotten to experience. And just in preparing for this course, I've learned so much from Yelena. She's gotten ideas from me. And so we also know that we'll get great ideas from you too.
Yeah, and I hope this course will really help you to become more marketable, will take you to the next level in your teaching, and will be a great investment in your professional development. So you are welcome. So use the link in the chat, and if you haven't copied it yet, you can copy it now. I sent it to the chat again. Also, I will send it together with the follow-up email to this webinar, and you're welcome. So Natalia is looking forward to investigate the details.
Yeah,
and you're welcome to write your questions or any feedback in the feedback form.
we'd love to hear your suggestions.
Yeah.
To see how we can accommodate them into the ideas we already have.
So please, with the feedback, put the link. Of course we will.
Absolutely. All right.
So Thank you so much for joining us today. We will send you the follow-up email together with the feedback, and every 4 weeks there will be sub-sessions.
I'm not sure what that means.
So, Tatiana, we will have one module is 4 weeks, and one module will include weekly readings, WhatsApp discussions, live Zoom sessions, I think weekly live Zoom sessions, and assignments with feedback. Did we answer your question?
So all 5 of the things that you see on the screen right now will be part of each week. And then there will be 4 weeks in the module.
And you mean subcategories? So I hope so yes, every module will have its category or its topic, let's say.
And that's one of the great things too about the WhatsApp discussions is that some of these sub-discussions can begin. That's where I think some of the greatest learning happens, is in those discussions.
Okay. So if you have more, we have some more comments. Okay, agree. Okay. So if you have more questions, just please write them in the feedback form, and we will be looking forward to your questions.
I'm really looking forward to have the opportunity to work with you all starting in January.
Yeah, see you next year.
See you next year, that's right.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so thank you so much for joining us today, and we will see you next year.
All right, yeah, more questions on the feedback form. That's great. Thank you so much.
Okay, have a nice evening. Linda, have a nice day.
Thank you very much.
See you soon. Okay.
Everybody sleep well.
Yeah.
Good night.
Thank you. Great. It's fantastic, ladies. It will be fine.
Hi, Tatiana.
Thank you so much, Linda, for your idea, for great ideas. Something absolutely new for our teachers, and they should probably, their self-esteem should be raised a little bit after this it's not seminar, it's like a course.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you soon.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.